Good. Can I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Mendez and second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the executive session.
Yes,
and go
Madam.
back into our workshop.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call to close the executive session for items 1 through 4. Councilwoman Khan? Yes. Councilman Jackson? We're closing the
We're
executive
closing,
session
going
that
back.
we just. Councilman Kalik?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam
Madam
Clerk.
President?
Yes.
The vote is 7 in favor, 2 absent. The executive session is now closed for items 1 through 4. So we move on to 5.
Great. Can I have, can you please read into the record item number 5?
Yes, Madam
6,
President.
and 7?
Yeah, this is for settlement.
Yes.
Next item is, you want to do them separately? Separately. Just do item 5 first? Okay. Next item is
Well,
item,
Corporation Council, can we take all the items since we heard them all?
Well-
And it's to either approve or,
it's,
no?
no,
No,
okay.
you
So
have
maybe
to-
some of the council members.
Each individually.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead,
they might-
Madam Clerk.
yes. Next item is item number 5 for settlement. Resolution authorizing settlement of pending litigation claim in the matter of Mary Clay versus City of Paterson, Law Resolution 2215.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez and second by Councilwoman Mims, right?
Yes.
Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 5.
Roll call on item number 5 for approval. Councilwoman Khan? Yes. Councilman Jackson? Yes. Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 7 in favor, 2 absent. Item number 5 is hereby adopted. Number 6.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Next item
number
is
6.
item number 6, resolution authorizing settlement of pending litigation claim in the matter of Monique Jordan versus City of Paterson, Law Resolution 22126.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Mims and second by Councilwoman Cotton and Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 6 for approval.
Roll call on item number 6 for approval. Councilwoman Khan? Yes. Councilman Jackson? Number 6, yes, sir. Yes. Councilman Khalid?
No.
Councilman Mendez?
No.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
You know, when situation come in front of us, we had to make tough decision even that we don't want to because of irresponsibility of others. Let me tell you something, and taxpayers have to end paying the wrongdoing of individuals that lack of trains or whatever they lack, but my vote is yes on this.
Madam President?
So, I'm having a problem with this one, not because of the case itself, but clearly the lack of taking action. I feel that we could have prevented this. But, and looking at what we as women have to endure on a constant. My vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 5 in favor, 2 against, 2 absent. Item number 6 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, last item on the agenda,
Yes.
item number 7.
Yes, Madam President. Next item is item number 7 for approval. Resolution authorizing settlement of pending workers' compensation claim in the matter of Samaya Solomon versus City of Paterson, Law Resolution 22127.
So moved.
Move.
Moved by Councilwoman Mims and second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 7.
Roll call on item number 7 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton? Yes. Councilman Jackson? Yes. Councilman Khalid?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes. Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 7 in favor, 2 absent. Item number 7 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motions close?
So move.
Moved by Councilman Mendez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Velez. Madam Clerk, roll call to close the workshop of Tuesday, March
first.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call to close the special meeting of March 1st, 2022. Councilwoman Cotton?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to say to the audience, to my council colleagues, that I remember sending Jerry, our public safety director, a text about trying to start a task force with this reckless driving that's going on through our city. It was an absolutely terrible accident in my block this morning. I'm not sure what happened to the driver. I don't know if he had a seizure or something, but he flipped over, hit two parked cars. Luckily, no one was in the parked cars. They was just about to go get in their car to leave, but they did not. So luckily, they were okay. And but I just said to Jerry about the task force that people are turning on red, running red lights, running stop signs. It's just absolutely have gotten out of hand. And I hear Rocky. You know, it's about neighborhoods. It's about we live in this neighborhood. It's about we live all together. You can't continue to, with your neighbors, not help your neighbors. My last thing I would like to say to Ms. Calijo of the Rose Petal and Joelle Ramirez of Health and Human Services. She picked up a lady yesterday morning. She was walking down the street. She looked at her and she looked like it was something wrong with her. She says to the lady, she was an elderly woman, "I'm going to my mother's house." And she said, "Oh, we'll get in the car." Not too many of us are going to put people in our cars, but she did. She put her in her car. When she got her in there, she did not know her name. She did not know where she lived. She then took her back to her shop. She called me. She said, "When I don't understand something, Councilwoman, I'll call you, or I call Councilwoman Mims, or I call Councilwoman Vera Ames." And I called Joelle right away because she needed the ambulance she needed an EMT. So come to figure out, the lady finally remembered her name. I started looking on Facebook for the last name, and I did discover one person. I text them, but in the meantime, Ms. Carolyn Joe, thank you. What had happened was the family left the house for a quick minute. The mom walked out the house and was walking down the street, and the family did not know. And I just want to say, we have so many different situations happening in our city community. I thank Carolyn Joe for putting this lady in her car, for taking her to her shop, waiting for the EMT to come to take her to the hospital. They took her to St. Joe's. So there's all things that are happening. And we can't sometimes think everything is always a bad thing. We always talk about mental illness. We talk about our senior with Alzheimer's and dementia. So I just want to give my lady in my fourth ward, Carolyn Joe, of the Rose Petal, a big hand for stepping in and taking care of this lady for us and to get her back to her family. With that being said, you all, I just want to say also thank you to everybody who showed up for the Black History Program, sponsored with Councilwoman Mims, Councilman Jackson. They really enjoyed it. We honored the elders of American Temple number 258 and American Lodge number 333. With that being said, Madam Clerk, all my council members, good night. Madam Clerk, my Joan, BA, Corporation Council, thank you. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome, sir.
So I see you looking at me, Councilman. I'm gonna try to be brief as possible. Yeah.
Take your time. I'll stay here for half an hour.
Take your time. Take
Only
your
for you. I'll stay here for half an hour. Go ahead.
Take your time. Take your time.
I'm gonna go half the amount of
You always
time
speak.
Councilwoman
You always speak the
Cotton did.
truth.
So first, let me start by acknowledging my family. My cousin was unfortunately murdered in the custody of the penal system. So, to the Hammond family, who we lost a very good brother. And again, this is as what we talked about earlier, how certain lives are valued differently than others. It's very unfortunate. So, Councilwoman, I appreciate all the efforts you guys made in putting that event together. I was unable to attend because of the loss of our family member, but it's unfortunate. With that being said, I think, you know, to the families that came here this evening, who lost their loved one, who are still in search of their loved one, you know, we have a certain obligation as a municipal government. I think many of us have taken the position and taken the understanding that there's a corporation that we protect, but we're actually here to protect the best interests of the public. And once we begin to stop working in the favor of the public, then we all need to be reminded why we're actually here. So, you know, my sentiments go out to the family who came here this evening, and to all the families who have lost a loved one, you know, unfortunately, you know, in the past several years in the city. Relative to your comment earlier, Councilwoman, as well, with the reckless driving, you know, I'm just going to go on record and say that the entire city is lawless. I've watched motorcycles drive up on the sidewalk, run red lights, no helmets, cars just blatantly blocking the intersection. The light could turn red. They keep on going left, and then they block the intersection for the ongoing traffic. I've been asked for the reports on the production of from PD relative to, you know, enforcement on those issues, and we still yet to get those kinds of reports. And speaking of reports, I'm going to urge this council, and I'm going to stay on top of it, Council President, and the rest of the council members, as you have witnessed this evening. It's a very incomplete analysis or investigation, should I say, non-existent. And this council has a responsibility. This council has a responsibility to make sure that the good intentions are always met with good intent, and make sure that we protect the public's best interest. We have the authority and subpoena power to question and interview, you know, all of those that the administration felt did not robbery to not interview, which in my opinion was complete robbery to the public. But, you know, I'm going to keep pressing to the members of the public. You guys should press. There is a necessity for transparency. And when that moment of transparency is shadowed, we all should be shining a light on it. So, council members, I'll be sending formal requests, you know, for a committee of the whole that we need to start conducting. I would like to chair that committee. Obviously, from tonight, person did not do a thorough and full investigation. I don't think he was qualified to, but that's a whole nother story. And the fact that we're spending taxpayers' dollars on this is very disheartening. Lastly, I'm gonna say this, Corporation Council, I sent over requests, which none of them were met. 222 Presidential Boulevard, Council President, I'm asking that to be added to this week's agenda. They were here last week for approval on their renewal of their junkyard license. I'm not an investigator, and you know, and Councilman Velez, to your point earlier, we are forced in times to do investigations because there's a neglect and or ball drop on the part of the administration. You know, the staff and the administration is tasked with doing all the necessary investigations. You know, when we have businesses that are running rogue, that just take it upon themselves to, you know, erect buildings, construct edifices, whatever it is that they deem that they can just do without regard, elevator shafts and things of that nature, and then they want to come forward after the fact while these items still exist and the public's best interest is not taken seriously. You know, this is a habitual, that business was an illegal transfer. They do not have a license, and they've been operating day in and day out, including Saturdays and Sundays. The investigator, not only the zoning officer and some of those inspectors have full reports, but so does the licensing investigator. I know I heard you did communicate with him, and I guess he said that you told him you would take care of it moving forward. So I don't know what happened to the report. I asked for a report for him to be drafted, but that's a necessity. Lastly, council members, I requested the corporation council, and I didn't have time because I was doing some other things. I'm gonna draft it for myself. I'm gonna draft a piece of legislation I'm hoping I can get your support on to reinstate firefighter Hunt, who was in fact never terminated. He's been on the payroll the entire time, active as I'm not sure the status, but he was still on the payroll, and he needs to be compensated for back pay as well. Because we have people on this who are employed here who believe they are the law. And when you have people who go through the process and they're exonerated, they're entitled to certain things. And I think we need to protect our people. There was one other item, but I forgot. Anyway, good night, everyone, and let's all pray together that things will get better in this community, that we stop being abused by people who are put in position to take care of us. That we stop people from taking advantage of their positions and start having a better regard for the public's best interest. With that being said, have a good night. Look forward to seeing all of you moving forward. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Kalik?
Good night, Paterson. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Mendez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before my vote, let me just talk about the family of Felix Joel de Jesus, a young man that was disappeared 20 days ago. This family came twice to this council requesting information and requesting at least a phone call or some attention from the mayor of this city. And he refused, and he continued ignoring that family and not even give them a phone call back. But he had time yesterday to call Joe Malicanico from Paterson Press on multiple occasions and insist to Joe Malicanico to put a story together about Councilman Mendez not pulling out permit to celebrate the 170th anniversary of the Dominican independence. That's the annual event that I host every year at Plaza Juan Pablo Duarte. That park has a board. I informed the board member about the event. Listen, it's sad the route that this mayor taking, and I know why you're doing that, Mayor. You're doing that because you're running scared. You're not gonna stop me. I'm running, and I'm ready to take laws for the last 20 years, for the last 20 days, and you decide not to give pay a phone call back. It's a shame, and it's talk a lot about how much you care about the city. It's so unacceptable what we have to deal with in the city. This city is crime infected, and you show that in the last 4 years you don't have a plan for public safety to stop the crime in this city. And a lot of the crime that has been going on in the city, they don't even show up, they're not even go out in the newspaper. All the robbery that we have around the city. The grocery store in North 6 this past week, they robbed one of the workers, ended up into having 15 stitches on his head. Another grocery store on River Street, another one on this past Sunday on East 33rd. We don't see that in the news. In 21st Avenue, around 5 businesses they've been robbed. This city is out of control. The violence in the city, the shooting in the city, and you have this mayor that the only thing he cares about playing cheap politics, going around calling the media to make story. It's a shame, and I hope that we could take action as a governing body. I do believe that we have to put a committee as a whole together to hold this administration accountable for the transparency that they have to present, that they have to show to the public. I know the only thing that you have, Mayor, is money, because you have one Paterson that who knows how many people that work with the city, that have business with the city, donating money to your entity. But that's the only thing that you have. You don't have the vote of the people, and it's a shame. but we are only 2 months away and 9 days from election day. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Paterson, good night. God bless you all. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Mims?
So Patterson, good morning. First, I'm praying for the De Jesus family. It is now exactly a month that their loved one has been missing. So if anyone has any information, please give it to the family, reach out to the police department, because the family is continuously coming to the meeting. They're out in the community searching for their loved ones. So my heartfelt prayers go out to this family. I want to thank the Vision Foundation for honoring me on last night with the Historic Award, named the Honorable Mildred C. Crump Bridging the Gap Award for the work I do in the city of Paterson and in the church. And so I want to say thank you. Mildred Crump is one of my mentors. She's been in city council for 27 years in Newark, New Jersey, and I want to thank Mayor Ras Baraka and your entire team, and those individuals that are part of the Vision Foundation and Elder Fisha for allowing me to be honored last night at the Tide. So I say thank you for that. On March the 26th, the Passaic County African American Women is having a women empowerment lunch from 12 to 4 at Macaluso's. Please, if you need tickets, please reach out to myself or Councilwoman Cotton. We have tickets. Yeah, tickets for $75 for Councilman Velez, $75. So we have tickets that we have, so please reach out to us for our event on that day. There's many events, there's so many situations going on in the community, so many people are grieving, so many people that are sick, so my prayers, heartfelt condolences go out to them. And I just want to say to the great city of Paterson, let's keep building and not battling. And I'll remind you once again, we have 8 more meetings before the election in approximately 66 days. So pray for us as we go through these next few weeks, and I'm sure it will get more intense and more frustrating. God bless you, Paterson. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
First of all, I want to congratulate a great month, the Black History Month, to the Afro-American community for organized events the whole entire month. I want to apologize because a lot of those events I didn't receive notice. If not, I will be there. Some of them I didn't receive emails, but I learned. Oh, I'm sorry, I left my home package in the office. That's why. I consider this my home, that's why. But I want to congratulate the Afro-American community. You did a great job in the whole entire month, and I hope if they could do it the whole entire year. The whole entire year, I believe, is Afro-American month. And also I want to congratulate the Dominican community and their 178th anniversary Independence Day. Let me tell you, I did an event at the Classico, a official councilman event. There was no political message, there was no political flyers, there was no political flags. We was there celebrating the 178th anniversary of the Dominican Independence Day with the 24 honorees. They was so happy that event took place. So, saying that, Madam Ruby Cotton requested something to the chief of police regarding the speeding or not turning red or whatever. Corporate counsel, I want to have an official request to draft a citywide do not turn on red ordinance to bring it to the committee and to discuss it. That will prevent other accidents, because there's a lot of people crossing on the crosswalk, cars are making the right, they don't look because they citywide. Yeah, citywide, like they do in New York, and I think it could happen here too. A lot of people are crossing a crosswalk and they pay attention to the other side, a car could come and hit them. So pedestrian for me is must and is safety. And I believe you will sponsor it too, Councilwoman, okay? Whoever want to jump in. My heart goes to my friend Terry Duffy and his family under loss as his son Terrence Matthew Duffy, a way fine police officer in Paterson Police. And I find out about that because I was passing by Martinez Memorial, and I have to ask what's going on. So when I find out, I had to stop and give my respect. So my heart goes to the Terry Duffy family, and let's pray for all of our police officer, man. We going through hardship. We don't want to lose police officer. Let's keep on funding them for we could have a better quality of life in the city of Paterson, bring more police officer to the city of Paterson. I don't know if my colleague Alex Mendel left.
He didn't leave, he's behind you.
He got my back, but make sure.
It would be kind of rude that everybody
Yeah.
walks out and we haven't
Okay,
finished.
so Councilman Mendez, I always say that when you go like this, you have to make sure that 4 fingers are not pointed at no one. If I go like this, I have to make sure no 4 fingers are pointed at me. The city has policies and regulations and rules. Me as a committee, a DPW committee chair, I had to follow those rules. And if I follow those rules, if I don't follow those rules, I will be probably caught my pants down, and the first individual that gonna catch up to that is gonna be the press. I'm using my 2 minutes. Please, please, try to go by the policy of the city to avoid, get the permits, do whatever you have to do, insurance and everything, and then nobody had to come after you or whatever, and then use that as a politics. I think that if you do that, then the mayor don't have to go after you, after me, anybody, when you follow the policy. And I'm not defending the mayor. I had to defend the policy of the city of Paterson. I had to defend the rules and regulation that's in place that I have to follow and to make sure that we do it the right
Councilman.
way. It's just a free advice if you don't want to be in the press and everybody going after you because it's political. I just want to say that. So council members, I don't know why, if I want to say the truth and the real statement, everybody want to shut me down, but I'm be fair across the board. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let's pray each other. And let's move the city forward. Thank you, Council President, for the opportunity to be sitting in this
Your vote?
council. Oh, my vote. My vote is yes. Thank you. Good night.
Okay,
Patsy.
Madam
so,
President?
so the only thing I'm gonna say, okay, as I have most of my colleagues still here, so Paterson, they're still in here. Councilman Jackson is still in here. Councilman Kalik is still in here. I would ask that each person, especially, because I'm the last one to speak, and when we're in roll call, I think it's unfair to address your colleague and not have the opportunity for that colleague to, I don't want to say the word rebuttal, but they should have the opportunity. And you know that doesn't happen. So I would ask that you don't address, especially if you know that the person cannot address you back. So with that said, I'm going to be fair. You have 20 seconds.
Thank you, Madam President. I just need 10 seconds. That only happened, Patterson, when you are the front runner. It's sad that the mayor, he went back and said, oh, he didn't pull permit for the toys giveaway, when in reality, I showed him, listen, that's my permit. So what are you talking about? So Patterson, listen, that's what happened when you're a front runner and he running is scared. And he will be out on May 10th. Thank you. Good night, Patterson. I love you all.
Okay, I didn't expect that, Paterson. I was just trying to have the councilman address his colleague. So with that said.
No, what colleague? He didn't address me. He addressed the mayor.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Oh,
he
okay,
did
because
not.
front runner means do things right.
Councilman.
Because you're gonna be end up behind the windows.
Oh, man. Patterson, I just want to thank you to Commissioner Duffy and the entire family, Erin, everyone. You know, my condolences to the entire family. I was there at the funeral home. To the family, to the De Jesus family, I will continue being that fighter, regardless if you don't believe that I am. I will continue to do what needs to be done to make sure that you get the answers, and hopefully we can find your family member. To my colleagues, thank you very much for today. Today, can I actually say that some of the things that I heard today were eye-opening, and that definitely need some more clarification. Paterson, thank you, Madam Clerk, for all that you do in your office, to Madam BA, Corporation Counsel, and the legal department. My vote is yes. Good night, Paterson.
Thank you, Madam President. The vote is 7 in favor, 2 absent. The special meeting is hereby adjourned. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Good night.